Go New York, go New York, go. Their coaching search going nowhere. Thus far, swing and a miss multiple times. After losing to the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau. Their pursuit to find a new head coach has come up short thus far. They requested an interview with Rockets head coach Ime Udoka. Denied. New York tried Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch. Denied. Former Villanova head coach Jay Wright, not interested. On Wednesday, the Mavs denied the Knicks' request to talk to Jason Kidd. The Hawks saying, no, you cannot talk to Quinn Snyder. And the Bulls reportedly not letting the Knicks speak with Billy Donovan. Who wants to coach the Knicks? Maybe one of these guys. And they were just denied by our producer. You guys cannot be the head coach for the Knicks. Actually, I'll allow it if you and John teamed up.
Team up.
I mean, why not, right? Yeah. What's going on here? Why are the Knicks striking out? Why can they not find a head coach? What's the problem?
Well, first of all, I think firing Tom Thibodeau was a little bit premature. Back-to-back 50-win seasons. Maybe that made a bad taste in people's mouth, but I don't think that these organizations are really going to care so much. Maybe it's the New York Knicks' reputation of mismanagement or something like that that rubs people the wrong way. But to me, obviously, all these people are are actively coaching. They have jobs already, and I don't think anybody wants to see New York win and get better. Maybe this because they're Broadway. Everybody else doesn't want to see them succeed.
They've gone through a sixth of the NBA right now. They're just going to keep going down the ranks and asking people. At some point, Leon Rose is a really smart guy. It feels like they didn't really have a plan on what they wanted to do once they moved on from Tom Thibodeau. Roy's right. It might have been a little premature. And at the same time, while it was a little surprising, it almost felt like it was a foregone conclusion. If you're going to fire a guy who got you to your first Eastern Conference Finals in 25 seasons, obviously you were just moving on, right? You decided, you made up your mind that Tom Thibodeau, for whatever reason, maybe because he plays his guys too many minutes during the regular season, maybe because he's so set in his ways, they had decided that they had had enough of Tom Thibodeau. But the fact that they don't have a plan in place makes it feel to me that maybe they just look around and they go, we've got some time here, right? We're the only game in town. We're the only team in the NBA that's looking for a head coach. So maybe they can go through all these coaches and ask permission to talk to people who are already employed, because they know they don't have to snap up a Mike Malone or a Taylor Jenkins right away, because there's nobody out there in the market for a head coach. But yes, it's a little curious.
Roy, you played for 5 different head coaches in your career. What should they be looking for? Because what they're looking for, everybody's denying.
To be honest with you, there's some great names that they're looking up there on the board, but to me, I think the problem with this team was the fact that their offense is too dependent on Jalen Brunson. And Mr. Fourth Quarter, obviously, really good in that crunch time. But I would like to see maybe thinking outside the box and going for maybe a EuroLeague coach or somebody that's more offensive-minded, spreading the ball around, and obviously could, have that same defense installed on the court. But I think going for the same old names, I think they need to think outside the box, go for somebody overseas who has no allegiances to these guys and say, hey, you know what, you shoot 30 times a game, I'm going to let you do that because I'm accustomed to you doing that. Let somebody, a new blood, come in there, somebody new, and let's shake it up a little bit.
Who's your favorite fit for the Knicks?
Well, I think you're going to hear some of the same names. Once they decide that they're going to have to hire somebody who's not currently employed, it's going to be Michael Malone. It's going to be at the top of the list. Now, there's a lot of overlap and a lot of similarities between Mike Malone and Tom Thibodeau. Mike Malone also famously does not like to develop young guys, also famously doesn't really use his bench as much, and likes to trust and play his veterans a lot. But Mike Malone is a very good coach, and he has a championship on his resume. He's going to be at the top of the list. Also, Taylor Jenkins did a really good job with the Grizzlies. But there's some good assistants out there. To Roy's point about kind of going off menu a little bit here, Johnny Bryant with the Cavs, really good assistant, smart guy under Kenny Atkinson. Micah Nori is a guy that I like a lot from Minnesota, who, don't forget, last year, Chris Finch blows out his Achilles, couldn't be on the bench. He's sitting behind the bench. Micah Nori stepped forward and did a really good job and helped guide them to the Western Conference Finals. And then here's one that I like that's a little off menu if we want to get a little crazy. How about Jeff Van Gundy coming back to Madison Square Garden, throwing himself on guys' ankles, getting dragged up and down the floor at the Garden? I love Jeff Van Gundy. He's done a really good job in LA as the architect of that defense with the Clippers under Ty Lue. Just got back into coaching. I say, Boost, let's have a little reunion here.
Do you think that people around the league are laughing at the Knicks right now for what is happening?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the Knicks for a long time, for years and years, as we know, it took 25 years to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals, right? There were some really lean years there. And then they got their act together, and people went, wow, Tom Thibodeau knows what he's doing. Leon Rose, look at him construct a roster. The Knicks, they're not a laughingstock. And then they go and do this, and they step on some more rakes.
They were 2 wins away from making the NBA Finals to your Pacers, Roy. I mean, you'd have to think that they had a plan in place. Like, I get it, you're not going to keep going with Tom Thibodeau, who runs his starters into the ground. Fine, you're going to move away from that. But you have to have some sort of plan, and it's as if they were like, well, we're just going to go pilfer somebody else. We're going to go into somebody else's yard and get somebody.
Well, I don't know how much I can rely on this, but I look through social media. People are talking about Brunson's dad potentially being a person that would step up. To me, and hearing some of the rumblings, I don't know if it's true or not, but like that to me could have been a situation where it could have been an easy fill-in. But the hearing that there was so much pushback obviously made me question that. But this is a situation where the organization needs, from the top down, needs to have some sort of input and talk to the players. What type of coach would be appropriate, but also hold these guys accountable. And I feel like that's the biggest thing.
I'd be embarrassed right now if I were a Knicks fan.
They're used to it.
I know, but like you just had this
run.
the season you just had.
Yeah.
You fire your head coach. You better have a plan in place. Like, we got 2 wins away. We're about to be back. And you could say that Knicks basketball is back. You get to the finals, you're officially back, right? Even if you don't win the NBA Finals, let's say they got to the NBA Finals over the Pacers, like, you're sitting there going, we're this close to being a championship franchise again. And now it's like, we're starting over? Like, what do we do? This is a classic, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I think that that's a fair reaction. And I really, the only thing that I can think here is that they believe that they have time, right? Again, nobody else is shopping for a head coach right now, so they can go and ask everybody under the sun, Ime Udoka and Chris Finch and Jay Wright. Shouts to our guy Jay Wright here at CBS Sports, and you know, Quinn Snyder. I even missed, they went through so many coaches. I initially missed Billy Donovan. Sure, why not? Nick Nurse, you're next.
All right. Well, they're going to have to figure it out. Roy Hibbert, John Gonzalez offering their help to see if the Knicks can find a next head coach. Their next head coach dealing with heightened expectations after the success of Thibs in his 5-year tenure. New York with 4 series wins under Tom Thibodeau after just 1 over the previous 20 seasons. And, of course, stay with CBS Sports HQ for the latest on where the Knicks go from here, continuing to swing and miss. Perhaps they'll find their head coach in the next coming days. If they do, we'll have it for you here on CBS Sports HQ.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you.
Big news coming out of the NFL. A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
With highlights.
What a finish at the final round of play.
And in-depth analysis.
Can they three-peat? Tony Romo joins the conversation.
What can you say about this game?
When you need your sports in a snap,
we're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
Find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.